So James tells the florist that he's getting flowers for Allah and her mother. And the florist is like, is there a special occasion? And James is like, yeah, kind of like a housewarming. So, like a homecoming. I'm sorry. So he says it's like a homecoming. So the florist asks more questions. Now, you know me. I'm not answering all your questions. I said that this is what I need. And this is what I need. Like, I don't need to give you too much information, but James is sweet. He goes on and tells her that, you know, his girlfriend is coming home from jail. And so he wanted to, like, get her and her mom some flowers or whatever. So he gets the flowers. The florist makes, like, this, like, awkward-ass joke. Like, oh, well, hopefully you'll be back for some wedding flowers or whatever. And James like, yeah, hopefully. And, you know, he laughs it off and he walks out. So while we're watching James walk back to his car, in his confession, he tells us that his dad is a cop. He's been a cop for all his life. And his father has no idea that Ala has went to jail, 1. He has no idea that she was an addict, 2. He also doesn't know that Ala went to jail for trafficking the drugs with the intent to sell. So this is why no one in James's family knows anything about Ala, because his background in military and then the father's background as a cop, it makes it kind of hard to disclose that type of information. So there's that. So Alice back at her parents' house. She's getting her hair done. And she's talking to the hairdresser, like her mom's friend. And as she's getting her hair done, she's like telling the mom, like telling the friend that, you know, when she was in jail, she's like humbled herself and she learned so much. And like all these men were sending her letters and things like that. And, you know, the reason that James stuck out to her the most is because James was going through a divorce and he was just coming from a more loving place and, you know, less creepy. So she also explains to us that she's been like going through withdrawal from sex. So, yeah. So after she gets her hair done, she gets all dolled up, she goes to her apartment, which shocked me at first because I'm like, damn, they bought her an apartment straight out of jail, but that's not what it was. She emptied out her bank account and she gave all the money to her parents. And for the past 5 years that she was away, they were maintaining and upkeeping her apartment, so she had a place to stay. And quite frankly, I think that's the smartest thing ever, because usually when people get out of jail, you have to have a place to stay. There has to be an address. And if you are staying with a parent or a friend, then they become responsible for you if you disappear or anything like that. The PO officer will hold you accountable, but they also hold the family accountable too. So I think it was a good idea to make sure that she still had an apartment of her own to come home to, because you're already wrapped up in her stuff. You don't want to kind of be more wrapped up into it. Anyway, they were kind of boring, so James shows up with his flowers and a pair of handcuffs, which was supposed to be a joke. She goes, oh, I'm going to use these on you. And they don't really talk about much. Like, they've seen each other. This is the first time that they see each other when they get out of jail. They hug, they kiss. You see a little bit of a spark and excitement. But, like, that's it. We're going to see that, I know for a fact, in every single couple. So that to me is just like, whatever. So after they kiss or whatever, and they have like a small conversation about when they're going to meet each other's family, and James tells her, you know, you're going to meet my family next week, and so forth and so, that's kind of where we leave off, with them in the bedroom kissing and telling each other that they love each other, and her ready to use those handcuffs. So then we go back to Joe and Garrett, and it is ladies' night and guys' night out. She's out with her friends, he's out with his friend. And we find out that she bought an iPhone for Garrett just so that she could keep tabs on him. She has turned on the locator app so that she can track him and see what he's doing. And she explains to the friends at the table and to us in the confessional that the only reason that she's done that is because when Garrett was in jail, she never had to worry about where he was or what he was doing, because he had constant supervision. And she admits herself that she's like the new warden. She needs to know what he's doing, where he's at, and it's just more for her peace of mind to make sure that he's safe and where he's supposed to be. So we go over to Garrett, who's at a bar with his friend drinking ginger ale because he's not allowed to have alcohol. And the friend is like basically asking questions that I think probably are pretty basic, like how is life? Are you happy to be out of jail? How are you adjusting? How's your relationship? And Garrett was doing really good with answering those questions up until that relationship part. Garrett's like, well, you know, our relationships got up and downs, and she held me down for the past 4 years, so, you know, I guess that's where it is right now. And I feel like he feels like he's obligated to her because of everything that she's done over the past 4 years. And it almost is like he doesn't want to be in a relationship. But if he was to leave, how freaked up would he be? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if he walked away from her right now, it's like, oh, thanks for doing everything that you've done. Thanks for spending all your money on this house. Thanks for buying, this dog or whatever, but I don't think I want to be in a relationship. So I think that he's in between some messed up place of wanting to be with her because of loyalty purposes and then not wanting to be with her because he's lost 6 years of his life and he has no idea what's really out there. So we speed back over to Joel and Garrett's house. It is probably like 10:25. They timestamp it right in the bottom of the screen for us so we know exactly what time it is. And she's at home in her pajamas with her hair pulled back in a ponytail. And she is texting him. And his friend is like, is she texting you? And Garrett's like, yeah. He doesn't answer. She's like, I sent him a text message telling him that I seen that he read my text. And I can't understand that if you know that I know that you read the text, why would you continue to ignore me? And she's like slowly going into like this crazy little frenzy because he's not responding to her. And so the friend says, well, turn your phone off, which is the stupidest idea ever. You never tell a man who's in a committed relationship to turn his damn phone off because that's just going to make it worse. So Garrett decides to then still make it worse, not by turning the phone off, but by lying and saying that he's on his way home. Now, what Garrett doesn't know is she has a locator app on his phone. So when he tells her that he's on his way home, she checks the app and he's still at the bar. So we leave her on the couch looking at the damn GPS, him not moving and her freaking out going, I guess that I'm just going to go to bed by myself. I don't know why he want to be with his friends and not with me tonight. And I couldn't help but go, are you serious? Like, he's been in jail for the past 6 years. He hasn't seen his friends. He hasn't seen other women. He hasn't done... Sorry, y'all. Camera fell. He hasn't done absolutely, positively anything but be in jail. So his first night out with his friends and you're tripping on him the way you are is the craziest thing ever. So that's where we leave her on that couch by herself, flipping out alone, talking to the cameraman while Garrett's out drinking his ginger ale, talking to his friends, and meeting some new people, which I think he should do because he has no idea what's going on in the world and he needs to be exposed to it. So now we go back and we are with Lamar and Andrea. Andrea has finally gotten to California's corrections facility to pick up Lamar. She's like pacing up and down and she's talking to herself and she's like going through the motions, and she tells us that she bought the car that she's driving for Lamar. And I think it's the stupidest thing ever. I'm not trying to be mean, but like, what? Like, first of all, no. Just no. Just no to the whole Andrea situation in general. The kids being home, the moving in this guy, and I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but I'm not saying he's a good guy either, and I'm not going to test where you're bad or good and your morals lie by bringing you in the house with my damn kids, and not just my kids, my 2 daughters. Nope, can't live with me, and I'm damn sure not buying you no car, but she does, and she did. So now we're sitting outside, she's pacing up and down, she's praying, and she's asking God to like teach her how to love him, and just all this stuff, and I'm just shaking my head at her because being a single mother just cannot be that bad. So bad that common sense goes out the window. The safety of your children go out the window because she can't be thinking about that when she agrees to let him like come stay with her. Like, it's just no way. And a person behind bars will tell you anything because they're behind bars. They have nothing else better to do but play with your goddamn feelings if that's the MO. So, I mean, all right then. Finally, she's like, she starts to see the vans and the buses like pulling out from the prison, and she gets super duper happy. And the first one was kind of like a dummy van. There was just people like guards kind of just like seeing who was out there and whatever. she gets super frustrated. She's like, why are they taking so long? Why are they holding him so long? And she like sees the people across the street waiting to get into the jail. She's like, no more of that for me. No more of those nights of driving up here for 9 hours, getting here at 2 a.m. in the morning with my blanket and waiting in line so I can see him. That will not be me. Not again. And whatever. And I'm just going, well, what if he goes back to jail? Do you like go, no, this marriage is over because you're saying he's your fiance? Do you divorce him if he decides to go back to jail? Like, I don't think she thinks this stuff through. I think that she's just like, I don't know what she thinks. It's the craziest thing, and common sense just doesn't seem to be like on her side right now. So finally the bus pulls up and Lamar jumps off of the bus. And she's like squealing and she's yelling and she's happy. And like for a second, I'm like, yay, Andrea. And then Lamar comes and he talks to us and he says, yeah, I'm Lamar. And I've been doing a bid for 18 years. And I'm like, shit. The justice system is not on our team. And baby Lamar has been in jail for 18 years. And I don't know if he's prepared for the Mormon lifestyle. I don't know if, Lamar is going to be cool with not hanging out with his friends and, connecting back with old people. I don't know where Lamar stands with that, because now we're talking about 18 years, 1990. He's been in jail since 1990. Everything has changed since 1990. Listen, we got everything but flying cars right now. And so if Lamar can't get a job, all he knows is gangs and violence, and that's what he knows. And you hope and pray that people don't turn back to those things, but you can never be 100% sure. So once he says, like, when he's like starts talking to us, he seemed so proud of it. Like, he didn't seem like there was like any remorse. He's like, yeah, this is what I did. And I'm just, he's like, I'm thankful to be out of jail. He doesn't say I'm thankful for having her. He's like, I got this beautiful woman. She got me this car and it's just a fresh start for me. And I'm just like, what? Like, okay, Lamar, whatever you say. So like, as they're driving home, she's like talking to the confessional and she's just saying, is he going to fit in my Mormon lifestyle? Is he going to be okay with my children? Are my children going to be okay with me? By the way, she has a moment with her kids before she goes to pick him up where she's praying with them. And her oldest daughter hates it. She hates the idea of Lamar coming to the house. She hates the idea of this man moving into her space. She has not talked to him on the phone the way the other kids have. She says she barely talks to him, and she doesn't know how she feels about it. And all I can think when I hear this little girl say that is Molly and Olivia from 90 Day Fiance. You're bringing somebody into my space, into your children's space, and you could care less about how your kids feel. She even goes to tell the oldest son, she acts like she doesn't want me to bring him home. And I can't help but go, I wouldn't want you to bring him to hell home either. He's coming from prison. We don't know him. And you don't seem to give a damn about how I feel. The oldest daughter walks off and she doesn't say anything else to her. So that happens. So as she's driving home with Lamar, she's just having all these revelations and all these epiphanies that this may not work. But it's too late. He's in the car. You're on your way home. And now we got to see what happens. So now we are finally at the end of the episode, where we are back with Joe and Garrett. Garrett gets home at 11:05, y'all. I feel like they went out at 8 o'clock or 7 or whatever, and he gets home at 11:05. And she is sitting on the couch picking her nails, irritated. He's like, are you mad? She's like, yeah, I'm mad. I don't understand why you didn't want to be home. And he's like, I was out with my friends. You told me it was cool. She's like, yeah, but you're not going to be coming home all hours of the night. And he's like rolling his eyes like, all hours of the night? Are you serious? You're the one that told me that if every now and again I need to come home at 11 o'clock, like 11 or 3 in the morning, I can, because that's okay. And like, you're saying one thing and now you're doing something else. She's like, I feel like you lied to me. He's like, what? I feel like you lied to me. She's like, I don't think that we're on the same page. And he's like, I don't think we're on the same page either. She's like, I never presented myself to be anything that I wasn't. I've done nothing but show you that I'm a psycho bitch. And he's like, yeah, you're showing it right now. And so she's like steady going. And he's like, man, you're a bitch. And she gets quiet. And she's like, you know what? I just don't think we're on the same page. I don't think that you want to marry me. I don't think that you want to be in a relationship, because if you did, you wouldn't act like this. And he's like rolling his eyes like, man, you're a fucking psycho. She's like, I just feel stupid. And he's like, You are stupid. And like, as he calls her that, she's like, look like she's ready to cry. She jumps up off the couch. He jumps up off the couch. She runs into the room and he starts walking out the front door. And in her confessional, as the show's going off, she says, and I quote, "Garrett's been out of jail for a week and he hasn't even proposed to me yet. And now he's walking out on me." And the show goes off with him walking out the front door. And me looking at the screen, completely confused by what she had just said. He's been out of jail for a week and he hasn't proposed to me. Joe, are you serious? She wasn't. She can't be. She is. But I wish she wasn't. So that's how the show goes off. With the crazy one looking for a proposal from a man who's been out of jail for 7 days. So we gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep watching. I'll be back with y'all with the update next Friday or Saturday. It's more of a Saturday because I don't really watch it Friday night. I got other stuff going on TV. You guys make sure you go check out my other video because the giveaway starts today. It started today so that I could get everybody's gifts out before Valentine's Day. So go watch my other video, like, subscribe, hit that little bell notification, leave some comments if you're interested in winning any of the prizes. I will be announcing the winners at the beginning of all of my videos after. So like day 1's winner will be announced in days 2 video. Day 2 winner will be announced in days 3 video, and so forth and so forth. So I'm going to be with you guys next Saturday, catching up on a review of this messy, messy show. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, Allie and Jane's story picks up now that she's home and we get to meet the family. And hopefully we get to meet Liz and Scott, and that story will pick up too because she's still in jail. So we're really not getting a lot from them. And we'll introduce some new couples. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep watching. We'll keep reviewing. I love you guys. Go be great. Good night.